Now I've just acquired this lovely OS FS30, one of the Surpass range, and it's a really good engine because being a 30 size, it's got quite a bit of power, but it's in a really small package. It's very similar to both the FSOS 20 and this 26 here. So I thought we'd have a closer look at this and I'd get it clamped in the test stand and we'll see how it runs. Okay, well here's my lovely OS FS30, 30 Surpass, and it's a great looking engine but typical of this series. Now this engine was introduced in about 2000, 2001, that kind of period, I'm not sure exactly when, and it's nearly 5cc, it's 4.89, and it weighs just under 300 grams at 279 grams. And we can compare that to the 20 size here, and it's more or less identical. Obviously the muffler is different, it's smaller on the 26 than on the 30, but the crankcases, the castings, everything is the same. The bigger engines have a slightly longer stroke and a slightly bigger bore, and that has made them just very slightly taller engines, so there's a slightly bigger gap between the crankcase and the head, hardly noticeable really. Another indication of this being a later engine, these 26s came out in round about 1990, 1991, and you can see the older engine has the plastic tappet cover. You can see there it's got OS 4-stroke written on it, whereas the much earlier engines from the 90s and the 80s had this aluminium tappet cover. And it's the same with the OS FS20. That was brought out in 1985, and that is very similar to this, again just very slightly shorter. The carbs on these are almost identical. I'm not sure if they've got slightly different barrels and Venturi apertures, probably have, I would expect, but from the appearance they look identical. And if we turn them over, we can see the size designation and made in Japan under the lugs there, and these are just lovely little engines, really run nice in such a small package. Well, this 26 I've already had a look at in a previous video, and I've had it in the test stand and it ran beautifully. So if you want to see that, have a look in the description below this video and there will be a link to the running of this engine. Now all I can say about this lovely 30 size engine is we need to get it in the test stand and see how it runs. Well, I've got this lovely little engine set up in the test stand now, and I'm really interested to see how it runs. I've got a 9x6 prop, I've got an OS F plug, so a 4-stroke plug, and I'm going to be running it on this Pro Power Model Technics 10% nitro, and that's about gone now. But I've filled the tank, so we'll see how this thing runs. Well, that ran lovely. It was really nice to hear it running and to see it running. Nice idle, it's just over 2,500 RPM, 3,000 RPM, something like that. High speed, maximum was a little bit high at about just over 12,000 RPM, which to my mind I would rather it was a little bit lower and have a bigger prop on it. So I think that's something I'll be doing when I'm flying this in a model anyway, for certain. But it was great. These are fantastic little engines. They run so smooth, start so easy. And I know just the model I'm going to get this into. Got to build it first, but I know a lovely plane that this will look right in. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.